Joanna Simpson here at Risk Minds International in Barcelona. Joining me now is Carolina Thomaz, Chief Risk Officer at Sygnum Bank. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Joanna.
And just tell me a little bit about how you're finding the conference.
So far, very interesting, very insightful. Maybe I'm going to introduce myself, Carolina Thomaz, Chief Risk Officer at Sygnum. Sygnum, it's a bank that has business in the digital assets space and was the first one to receive a banking license in the world to have business in digital assets. So far, the conference has been very interesting for me and for Sygnum as an institution, because there are some new areas, emerging risks, for instance, cybersecurity risks, technology risks, that are very important for our business, in addition to resilience. And those are having been very well covered within the conference.
So how can digital assets enable investment opportunities?
Can enable very much, maybe enable a new asset class. For instance, allowing investors to access new types of assets, in the sense that with technology, we can lower the ticket size of certain investments. A third topic that I think it's very important to mention is the inclusion, economic inclusion. Why? We know that nowadays between 1 or 2 billion people don't have access to banking, full banking services. And then in order to democratize this opportunity, we can leverage on technology, on blockchain, and allow the part of the population that don't have access to credit lines. For instance, a Kenyan farmer that needs to run his business and needs credit line may take opportunity using this technology. A third layer is global business, for instance. Technology allowed us to transport services and products. How? We have nowadays virtual services and products. And this came with the internet, meaning with technology. But we still have nowadays certain challenges. For instance, I can buy this virtual service or product, but how can I pay it? For us, we are here, we can pay, we can receive money, but from a global point of view, it's not the case for part of our population, meaning that technology will allow financial inclusion plus a global business.
And how do you manage the risks involved?
We have what I consider the top 3 risks within our business, our bank. One is money laundering related risks. In order to better managing or to have the full coverage of this risk, we use capabilities of the traditional finance, screening of transactions, monitoring of transactions, fiat transactions, but we operate in a blockchain as well. In order to allow us to be fully compliant with the regulations, we created an in-house solution that screens transactions on-chain. The second one is cybersecurity risks. For these, we count on a very experienced team that deploys risk framework within Sygnum that is very meaningful for developers. And the third layer, and very important, not only for our industry, but as I could see in the conference, for the traditional finance as well, business resilience. We are a tech bank. We count on technology. We need to partner with vendors. Therefore, third risk assessment, and sometimes fourth risk, the layer of having a fourth partner, fourth counterpart risk assessment is very important for us. And considering the data aspect as well, everything embedded into the resilience topic, meaning critical data, critical functions, critical processes are mapped and assessed accordingly.
And digitalization is a rapidly growing market, one that's both volatile but also offers great opportunities. How can risk managers best keep up with digital assets?
With digital assets, that's a very interesting question as our industry is very dynamic. We count on the first line of defense as well. The first pillar is people and processes. In the way that we set our risk framework within Sygnum has the following approach. We deploy a meaningful risk framework, meaning that processes will serve people, not the other way around. This is very important because sometimes we can end up of having not meaningful processes and people still following those processes that don't bring value. Being part of this tech bank and still a startup phase, we need to be very efficient and agile and still complying with regulations. Therefore, processes serving people is the first pillar. Having the right people and enabling the people to have contact with risk management at the beginning of a project or initiative. If you assess the main risks at the beginning, you can take really crucial decisions. If we move on with this project, with this initiative, or we need to stop for any reason. It saves a lot of resources. The second one is bringing the first line into risk management, training them, keeping contact with them. I think it's very important that they are aware of the why they are doing, why do they need to assess following the risk framework. And the third pillar, add value to the business. Risk managers can still be independent, but add value to the business, and this is very important. They need to hear from us. They need to hear from us what type of value, what type of topics that they need to bring or embed in their projects in order to be successful.
And how have you used digital assets to enable new investment opportunities for your clients?
Considering our business, I'm going to mention the tokenization technology. This technology allows the decrease of the tickets. Therefore, affordability is one of the topics that we try to embed into our solution. We know that in the traditional finance, sometimes the ticket size is minimum $100,000, for instance. With tokenization, we can fractionalize investments and give the possibility to massive affluent investors to invest in certain assets. The second topic is accessibility. Nowadays, fine arts, vineyards are only accessible to a portion of our population. Having the fractionalization and, of course, still take into consideration the client investment profile, just a remark here to be compliant with the regulations, we can allow investors to have access to this type of market.
Carolina Thomaz, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Joanna.